In the news tonight, ExxonMobil's oil recoverable estimates increased to 4 billion barrels. Government dubs it major development. Ghana to present memorial in border case to ICG November 19. NTC executive urged to adopt business approach to development and in sport. Holder rules lost as Bangladesh take lead in ODI series. Tristan Joseph will have all the details later on. This is our Monday, July 23rd edition of the NCN News. I am Leron Bramwell. Thank you for joining us. To our top story. ExxonMobil announces an increase in its estimates of discovered recoverable resources for the Stabroek block to more than 4 billion oil equivalent barrels. It says continued success in Ghana has given it confidence in achieving its long-term plans. Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman hailed the announcement as a major development for Ghana. Here are details.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman has described the recent announcement by U.S. oil company ExxonMobil as significant, not just for Ghana, but in the global oil and gas arena. On Monday, the company announced that the estimate of discovered recoverable resources for the Stabroek block offshore Ghana has increased to more than 4 billion oil equivalent barrels. Minister Trotman is confident that there is no other part of the world that is experiencing the kind of discoveries that Ghana is, as well as the volume or quality of oil.
This is a big deal. At the same time, it does bring a greater sense of responsibility, because even as we are now in a position to earn far more than what we expected to earn and what the so-called experts say that we would be entitled to, we have to focus more attention on how we manage than how much we have.
Minister Trotman said with this recent announcement and all the impending developments, Ghana's future looks promising.
So I'm happy that this news continues to put us in a positive light. Many years ago, people only associated Ghana with Jonestown. This is going to slowly but surely change that narrative.
The U.S. oil company has made 8 oil discoveries to date, and its previous estimate of discovered recoverable resources was 3.2 equivalent barrels of oil. Commercial oil production is expected to commence in the first quarter of 2020 with an estimated 120,000 barrels per day. It is also expected to increase to 220,000 barrels by 2022. In Exxon's media release, it said continued success in Ghana and progress in other upstream growth has given it confidence in achieving its long-term earnings growth plans. The company stated too that the collective discoveries on the Stabroek block to date have established the potential for up to 5 floating production, storage and offloading FPSO vessels, producing over 750,000 barrels per day by 2025. For the NCN News, Shanta Samuels.
Now, there is need for integrity in the governance of oil and the gas industry. So says Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Ivelaw Griffith. Here are details.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Professor Ivelaw Griffith, says that a great deal of attention needs to be paid to maintaining integrity in the management of Guyana's emerging oil industry and the associated wealth. He was at the time addressing the UG School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovations SCBI Local Content Forum on Monday.
Don't have to be politically correct to acknowledge that our nation is an integrity challenged one. And with the advent of an energy industry where more money will be flowing than you can even dream of, the moral hazard of corruption will stare us in our face and consume us. So we have got to be, as a university community, as a citizenry, prepared to talk about and embrace the value of integrity.
Professor Griffith added that there also needs to be work in regard to attaining and maintaining high standards.
It's a habit. If we don't habituate best practices, if we don't strive for continuous improvement, we are going to be lamenting losing in our own nation, because others coming to seek the fortunes here know of the value of excellence, of not cutting corners, know of the value of being on time.
These areas, he said, are critical to the maintenance of a successful industry. For the NCN News, Arifa Bacchus.
Now, Ghana has until November 19 to submit its memorial on the Ghana-Venezuela border row to the International Court of Justice. Updating the media on the case earlier in the day, Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge reiterated his confidence in the team of lawyers handling the matter. We get the details from Shanta Samuels.
Preparations for the Ghana-Venezuela border controversy case are ongoing, and Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Granitz said much work is being done to ensure the team meets the November 19 deadline to submit its memorial.
18th. And so we are working on that. There is a team of lawyers led by Susridat Ramphul. And these are overseas lawyers from a variety of places, skilled in this area, who would have worked on this before.
Minister Granitz said he has full confidence in the competence of the legal team to do the work necessary to secure Guyana's victory.
And they will be bringing on board, depending on the issue at hand, other lawyers who have the necessary skills. I don't want to say much more than I've said already. You will know, of course, that the firm of... Yes, there is one of the main chambers here is a chamber called Matrix, which is based in the United Kingdom and which has, as a member of that particular chambers team, a professor of law who is a professor at, I think, both University College London, which is one of the foremost colleges of the University of the University of London, and the other one, and is also a professor at the University of Oxford.
On January 30 this year, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres recommended that the Ghana-Venezuela border controversy case be referred to the International Court of Justice. Venezuela has indicated its lack of interest in participating in the process. In spite of Venezuela's contention, the government of Ghana has maintained its commitment to see this to the end. Meanwhile, the court has fixed April 18, 2019 as the date for a counter memorial to be filed by the Venezuelan authorities. Guyana submitted its application on March 29, requesting the court to confirm the legal validity and binding effect of the 1899 arbitral award regarding the boundary between Ghana and Venezuela. For the NCN News, Shanta Samuels.
Now, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock has met with the new executive of the National Two Showers Council, the NTC, to discuss government's plans and projects aimed at improving the lives of indigenous peoples in Guyana. He anticipates improved relations between the NDC and the indigenous communities. Details from Tracy Romalo.
The curtains came down on the 12th National Two Showers Council Conference held at the Arthur Chung Conference Center on Friday. Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock said it is vital the NTC develop a more proactive approach representing the indigenous peoples. He noted that government has provided funding and equipment needed for the development of indigenous communities, but the lack of involvement by the NTC has stymied progress in many areas.
I expect a more business-like approach towards community development, and for the NTC to focus on the development of the communities themselves. Be out there helping the communities to plan, helping the communities to be able to achieve their goals.
The minister noted that expanding the economic base of indigenous communities is imminent.
And we have embarked upon an economic drive in communities because we are moving away from the dependency syndrome. And I find that, well, from my observation, we have a team that is pro-development, and that is what we would like. I'm expecting that we would have a better outcome.
The minister met with the new executive of the National Two Showers Council on Monday to brief the body of government's plan and projects for indigenous peoples' development. A new executive of the National Two Showers Council was elected on Wednesday last, with Nicholas Fredericks as its chairman. The body will serve for 3 years. Trace Romalo for NCN News.
When we return, Hinterland welfare officers... Welcome back. Now for more news on NCN. 10 welfare officers from regions 1, 7, 8 and 9 have begun a one-month training course to deal with social issues affecting their communities. The sessions are being held at the Hinterland School Dormitory in Liliendal on the east coast of Demerara. Trace Romalo has details.
The training is aimed at assisting the officers to better understand their roles and responsibilities in addressing social issues. It will also deal with the procedures that they need to follow when interacting with other agencies and ministries on these matters. Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Sidney Allicock, implored the officers to develop the right attitude in the execution of their functions.
Be in the know. If you don't know, don't just wait, sit down and wait to be told. Your job is to get information to help you in your job. Get up there and find out. In some areas we have internet connectivity. Get out there, try to find out and try to advise. Try to be in regular communication. And most of all, be prompt at your work, be sober at your work, be less in gossip.
The training is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and the Ministry of Social Protection. Senior social worker Pauline Welch said it is important that the lives and well-being of Indigenous peoples are enhanced.
It is our ministry's vision and aim, and also the government of Guyana, that there should not be any difference between the hinterland and the coast. That whatever service is available in the coast should be also available in the hinterland.
The hinterland welfare officers are being trained in areas such as work readiness, coaching, and the psychological first aid concept. Trace Romalo for NCN News.
Now, Public Security Minister Kemrat Ramjatan says the drug trade in Ghana is growing. He says this is as a result of increased supply of drugs in Colombia due to refusal of farms in that country to fumigate cocoa plants. Christian Desai has details.
Public Security Minister Kemrat Ramjatan told the National Assembly on Thursday that the growing drug trade in Guyana is as a result of the refusal of Colombian farmers to fumigate cocoa plants. He added that Colombian cocoa farmers are using improvised explosives to repel soldiers from manually uprooting the plants. This has led to increase in supply of these drugs in Colombia, resulting in increased drug trade within the region.
Is as a result of the cessation of spraying of cocoa plants in Colombia after the farmers, the legitimate farmers that plant non-cocoa crops were saying that their health and so on is being affected. Workers complained that the chemical used to destroy the cocoa plant is affecting their crops and also their health. And the security forces have stopped fumigating as a result, and that has allowed a lot of other cocoa cultivations to go on.
Ramjatan noted that government has stepped up its intelligence gathering and surveillance activities through a multi-stakeholder approach among the National Anti-Narcotics Agency, the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ghana Police Force to tackle this issue.
We also are trying to take away the profits from those drug dealers and the big mafiosi by cutting the profits from their trade. And so we have started some money laundering offenses, seizure of their motor cars and valuables that they were found with, cash and all of that. And that is helping, although we feel that lots more could be done in that regard.
The Public Security Ministry is also seeking assistance from the U.S., Suriname and Brazil to gather intelligence on the drug trade. Reporting for the NCN News, Christian Josiah.
Now, a former GDF photographer who is suffering with an enlarged heart is seeking the public's assistance in acquiring funds to improve his condition. The 37-year-old father of four sat down with NCN's Nacasia Logan to talk about his condition and daily struggle to take care of his family.
Dwayne Crawford had no idea his heart was ailing when he ignored sharp pains and shortness of breath. After his condition worsened, Crawford's wife took him to see a doctor in 2012, where he was diagnosed with cardiomegaly. commonly called an enlarged heart. The father of 4, who also suffered a stroke, is seeking the public's help in acquiring the $4 million needed to conduct a procedure that will improve his condition.
To get device called a defibrillator to put it in the heart, so that when the heart muscles and start working, and the defibrillator gonna help me. The device is cost $3.8 million, and I'm trying to raise up money to get the surgery done.
Crawford, whose heart can fail him at any given time, says he has been trusting God for support daily.
Some days you hope, some days you don't. Yesterday I didn't, talk much around my children. They asking me questions what happened. I just said everything is okay. But sometimes they see that things are not okay. Especially my daughter, she said, you ain't talking to me, what's going on? And I said, today is not a good day for daddy. So she said, all right, just lie down and relax.
Crawford's condition has also affected his ability to move around the house. An enlarged heart results in the heart being unable to effectively pump blood. Symptoms vary from shortness of breath, especially when active or when lying flat, leg swelling, weight gain, weakness, or skipped heartbeats. Anyone who wishes to contribute towards Dwayne Crawford's medical condition can do so through his Demerara bank account number 2030435. His telephone number is 682-7382. Crawford's friends from the GDF will be holding a fundraising barbecue for him on Saturday, July 28, 2018 at Hooters Bar, Bent and Hardina Streets. Tickets cost $1,000. Nicasia Logan, NCN News.
Still to come.
2-0, while on Monday the men's hockey team lost 3-0 to Mexico in the second group match after winning their first. In table tennis, Guyana is now out of all doubles and mixed doubles action as all teams were unable to move past the early rounds of the tournament. The action in table tennis now switches to the men's singles competition from Tuesday. Chase Academy and Charlestown Secondary are the inaugural champions of the ExxonMobil Under-14 School Football Tournament after showcasing their skill during Saturday's finale at the Ministry of Education ground. Chase Academy definitely has a bright future in football as they emphatically won the title with a flamboyant performance. Chase defeated North Rumvelt 6-1 in fine fashion as they spared no mercy on their opponents in a full show of team chemistry on the pitch. Devon Padmore scored a beauty of a goal when he lifted the free kick from about halfway of the shortened pitch into the back of the net in the second minute. From there, it was bombs away. Sealan Sue in the 6th, Jahil Alincinder in the 23rd, Ronaldo Abrams 36th, Shaquan Liverpool for the 1st, and Kevin Mullen the 48th were the remaining scores for Chase as the team attacked with a fluidity and intelligence that was beyond their years. North Rumvelt's lone goal came in the 18th minute through a strike from Orlando Dickey in the match. Captain of the team, Brandon Solomon, spoke on the win.
I feel very happy because we came out with a victory and it's the first and the 14 tournament and we won it. I'm very happy that we did the same just like the higher team did.
Meanwhile, on the south side, Charlestown Secondary won the female title with a 3-0 win over East Rumvelt. East Rumvelt never looked like championship material and Charlestown took advantage of their lackluster play and made rings around their defenders, even squandering a number of chances in front of goal. However, it was Shania Easton with a double in the 8th and 40th minutes that sealed the win, while Donald Lowe chipped in with a strike in the 25th minute. All the winners received their championship trophy and medals at a presentation ceremony held immediately after the finals. Director of the Petro organization, Troy Mendonca, thanked all sponsors for their support, while ExxonMobil representative Deidre Moe gave the tournament a stamp of approval from the major oil company.
Congratulations to all the players for having a great tournament over the last 7 weeks. We're excited to be a part of the U14 program and the tournament, and you guys played rain or shine and did a great job, had great sportsmanship the entire time. We're so glad to be a part of this. Thank you so much and congratulations to everyone.
The tournament was the first of its kind for school football in Guyana. Fruta Conquerors and then AMSA provided a small but vocal crowd at the Lenore Stadium. An awesome display of football on Sunday when the second half of the Guyana Football Federation's Elite League continued.
The match had the spectators at the edges of their seat as a steadily improving West Coast team then also showed their Georgetown counterparts that they are strong contenders despite losing 2-1. The opening minutes was a case of missed opportunities with the majority of the possession going to Conquerors. Ryan Hackett and Anthony Abrams were some of the culprits for Conquerors and Delon Lamferman for Den Amstel as they gave away what looked like clear chances for goal. However, Den Amstel, despite their limited possession, created trouble every time they had the ball, with defender Jeremy Garrett keeping them at bay. On the resumption, Den Amstel got past the backline and beat Fruta's custodian, and Delon Lamferman executed superbly this time to give the game its first goal in the 51st minute. Ian Allen rescued the Conquerors with his strike minutes later to level the score in the seesaw battle. Nevertheless, in came Dominic Garrett, making his debut performance for Fruta with a 90-minute goal to give his side the lead and the win. Fruta captain Ian Allen said they executed well.
I think it was a great performance. We come out for play our game plan and we stick to the game plan, and then once we stick to the game plan, we can come out victorious, which is keeping playing at the high intensity right through the game.
Dominic Garrett said he hoped to make a great impact for Fruta in their half of the league.
Energy, some good strength.
What do you think about the team's performance tonight?
90%. We don't know we could do better, but it's coach. It's all about the coach, and the coach set out the work. We just got to go and produce.
Meanwhile, the night's biggest victory went to defending champions Ghana Defence Force, who plundered Ansgrove United 4-0 to improve their second half record. Delroy Fraser led the way with a brace in the 64th and 76th minute of the second half. Delroy Fraser led the way with a brace in the 64th and 76th minute of the second half to add to their 1-0 lead at the halfway mark, complement of a Sean Arthur strike. This was clearly a one-sided encounter as the Soldiers capped off the victory with an injury time goal off the cleats of Sherwin Caesar to ensure a 4-0 victory. GDF's Delroy Fraser said that they are seeking to play a better brand of football in the second half.
The main thing we are doing right now is stick to basic, play simple football, don't rush the game, only composure and goal gon' come in.
The opening clash saw Boxer United taking a 1-0 win over Victoria Kings. For NCN Sport, I'm Eric Collymore.
With that, we've come to the end of another edition of the NCN News. But before we go, here's a recap of the top stories. ExxonMobil's oil recoverable estimates increased to 4 billion barrels. Government dubs it major development. Guyana to present memorial on border case to ICJ November 19th. NTC executive urged to adopt business approach to development. And in sport, Holder Rules loss as Bangladesh takes lead in ODI series.